World Bank executive says aliens control money and religion. It seems baffling that such a high-level former executive of the World Bank would make such outlandish statements, but Karen Huth's testimony should at least be considered when attempting to put the entire ET puzzle together. One of the longest-running and most popular conspiracy theories of all speaks of a possible organization that pulls the strings of our entire society. This elite would be found within the economy, religion, industries, and entertainment, occupying quite important positions. Despite the fact that many people discredit it, this theory gains much more strength when a former World Bank executive is the one who decides to break the silence and publicly reveal that not only does this elite exist, but that they do not belong to this world. So this is so nuts, it's hard to believe, but it's true. Karen Huth was being interviewed by Future Money Trends when midway through the interview about conspiracies concerning global economy, she reveals that the aliens that have been hiding at the Vatican, what? Okay, that's what she says. When executive professionals such as Karen begin speaking out about these coming events, we need to start paying closer attention. The reporter says, who is calling the shots at the Vatican? I'm assuming it's not the Pope. Karen Huth says, well, there are some called the Black Pope, but that's not the ultimate reason why we have been in the fix that we're in. What we have found out, and this sounds implausible, but it's absolutely correct, the fact that it's been held in secret does not mean that it's not true. It is true, she said. There is a second species on the planet, she said. They are not extraterrestrial. They are very much with us. They made maps in the previous ice age. The remnants of their civilization are all over the place. A lot of times along the coast, it's submerged because the sea level has gone up by 400 meters. But this group has large brains. They are very distinct from Homo sapiens, she says. Their DNA is so different that if the two species mated, their offspring would be infertile, and we know this because their DNA was just tested. They have skulls all over the place because they have been on Earth with us, but after the Ice Age, there were not that many of them, and so they have been hiding, and one of the places that they have been hiding is in the Vatican, and that's why the Vatican are wearing those mitres, those tall hats. It turns out that that's what the high priests wore in the early beginning of Judaism. The people that were doing archaeology in Israel know this, and the reason is that not only are Homo capensis trying to keep human beings under control by dividing and conquering using our money system, they have also been doing this with our religion, she says. She says organized religion, trying to get human beings to hate people of different faiths so that they are against each other, so that the people in the back manipulating human beings could use us like cattle. And that's what's been going on through our history, she says. A reporter, okay, Karen, you're an attorney. You worked for the World Bank for 20 years. What you're saying is on the fringe of conspiracy, and it sounds crazy. So, I mean, obviously you have had to come to terms with this. What have you seen that made you so confident to actually say this stuff publicly? Karen Huth says, because they have been going to meetings. I sent an email to a fellow in Portugal, and the next day he went to a meeting of bankers, and he sent me back an email saying that the meeting there had been a big skulled individual with bright blue eyes, another person in touch with Dr. Edward Spencer, who is a retired neurologist. He's the one who started telling me about this. A friend of his was in Egypt and saw these Homo capranensis running around. They are their skulls are all over the planet. It's not a conspiracy theory. Just because this group likes to hide and likes to accuse people of having conspiracy theories does not make these facts raw. They are facts. Karen Huth was a fairly senior executive at the Treasury Department of the World Bank until 2007. In her resume, she holds degrees in law from Yale University and economics from the University of Amsterdam. In addition to her work at the World Bank, she also worked for the Export-Import Bank of the United States, including working in the World Bank's legal department. Huth's career was impeccable. and she was held in very high esteem during the 20 years she worked at the World Bank until she was fired in 2007 as legal counsel. The reason? Denounced the corruption of the elite that is dominating the world and its possible non-human origins. Non-human creatures with elongated heads and an IQ over 150 control the Vatican and the World Bank, she said, and with these words, Hughes began her public denunciation of what she personally saw when she held the position of legal advisor at the World Bank. The lawyer and economist declared that extraterrestrial beings have been infiltrated for years in quite important positions of power. She assures that they do not belong to the human race and that they are addressed as Homo capensis. These beings have coexisted with humanity for many years prior to the Ice Age, she says, and in an interview with the news portal Next News Network, HUD stated that despite the fact that in the past she did not believe in any of that, she began to investigate to realize that there was historical evidence of creatures like the ones that would live today with strangers, elongated skulls, or as can be seen in Egyptian hieroglyphs. And despite the fact that Hood's words have aroused great interest worldwide, to the point that television networks have wanted to interview her, she's not the first to denounce this. The former Minister of Defence of Canada, Paul Hellyer, gave some statements in 2014 in which he assured that there are extraterrestrial beings working directly with the United States government. We could be in control of a fairly important core of world situations, including financial, corporate, and religious, to get dominance on the planet. According to the theory, the goal of dominating these institutions is the enslavement of humanity through debt, and they want to enslave all governments and politicians to give up huge financial contributions to use for their political campaigns. And because this elite also manages the entertainment and media industry, the truth is that it is extremely difficult to find out about this. It's obvious that our most important institutions work based on the interests of those who manage them. Karen Hood's statements are just one more grain in that great hourglass that will announce the time for society to wake up. And this is on Collective Spark by Myth and Mystery guest post. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.